The God worlds. It's funny when you step back and realize how your experiences are experienced, even at this level of such a chemical and physical level, how that when you're experiencing life at all levels here in the physical world, you're simultaneously using, remember, your other bodies. You're using the mind, right? Thought isn't physical. You're using your emotions, that isn't physical. And you're using your physical body, which is physical. So the experiences here are also experienced emotionally and physically at other levels. So it's interesting how all these packages are wrapped into one slick being. So that's why when you say you're a multifaceted being, is that you are consciousness, awareness, but to be in creation you must use a vehicle to experience. So you're looking basically through the eyes of a body. First the eyes of the mind, then of the emotions, and then of the physical body. So all three of these. So I try to explain that a little when I do your iridology report, showing the autonomic and how that's hooked to the mastoids and hooked to the olfactories, even the optics, so that when you taste, see, or smell something or experience things through the sensory organs, it electrically, vibrationally moves through the autonomic into the central, which is the command center and the physical counterpart to the astral, emotional, and the mental bodies. So you can experience multiple levels of an experience here at this one level. You will experience it. If you've ever had an out-of-body experience, you will notice that you're still conscious, you're still awake, it's still you, but you just don't have the physical body right now. But you do have, if you didn't go any further than the astral world, you will have the emotions and more involved in colors and creativity and things like that. Leaving that world, you'll be in the total mental worlds, which is a little different, a little stricter, a little more deep in its ecstasy feelings, and it's just more infinite in its feelings, and also yet it heads you, especially the universal part of the mind, moves you into the understanding that everything is one that uses an individual mind. There is the universal mind that comes out of consciousness, and then your mind, my mind, everybody has an individual mind coming out of that. Can't be here without it. Pretty cool stuff, learning how that works, and then learning how the genetics and the consciousness of the cells and how vibrationally all this works. And because when you're eating food that also has an emotional and mental body to it. Don't forget that. You're eating everything that's on this planet that you're experiencing in the physical world also has these other counterparts to them. And so a plant has the mental part to it, and a plant has the emotional part to it. Many a proof. Read Secret Life of Plants by Christopher Bird and Tom Tompkins. Secret Life of Plants. Remember the one lady in she's some research professor, and she's going to replace bomb-sniffing dogs in airports because they're only about 70 to 75% accurate in determining bomb material. Her plants are 100% accurate, she claims, at determining different chemicals. And that her plants will turn colors in the perception of those chemicals. I mean, when you start to realize that all life is awake, but shadowed at different levels, so experiences can be experienced at all different levels and not seen as the one. Pretty cool stuff. A little cutie. Yeah, little cutie. This lady almost died having that little cutie. Yeah. So she's done well, Michelle. I think the good doc is onto something doesn't realize. A lot of love. Taking his herbs this past year has made my hair grow so fast. Not only your hair, how about your fingernails? I mean, I can't keep them cut. I mean, everything grows fast. Isn't that cool? I mean, it may not be so cool. I tell you another thing that grows fast. These friggin' beards, I mean, everything goes better. I mean, isn't that cool? But you're swimming in the nectar and the beauty of life, where there's love and there's healing and there's alkalinity. acids. Ow, 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 acids. Oh, that's why we have that acid negative connotation to that. They're beneficial acids, no question. I like to roll with an acid once in a while. But they can hurt you. But, yeah, honey. Beautiful boy. Beautiful. And I'm glad you're getting yourself well. You guys are so sweet. And getting yourselves well and healthy. You beautiful moms and your kids. Don't forget these books. Eating Like Monkeys, number 1 and number 2. Rita. I mean, at one level, it's such a warring planet. And so ugly and stinky. At another level, incredible and beautiful and all those things, you know. The duality of creation. Now I was asked to read this. This is a long one. But let's see what's going on here with this person. I'm gonna say this is a true answer. I'm gonna see. For this last is they able to send you questions. You're welcome. Let me see. Where should I begin? I am a 34-year young artist. Ooh, I love artists. Artist and musician. Oh, now you got my attention. All right. You know, I can't stop. I got to help you now. You're a musician. On a huge journey. Ooh, I like that. You know, the creative arts. I want us to get our creative arts up into the etheric levels. Ooh-wee. I have been diagnosed with PTSD from years of torment from a sociopath. Have had two retinal detachment. This is only a 34-year young person. And I don't know whether it's a male or female here, but my God, 2 retinal detachment. That's serious crap, guys. Serious stuff here. At age 17 and 21. Oh, wait, I'm not done. You guys are going to know how to fix this when I bring this next word in. Also, scoliosis. Whoa. So she has, let me say another word for retinal detachment. Connective tissue weakness. Oh, did I say connective tissue weakness? And did I say here scoliosis? Oh, wait a minute. Thyroid issues. It's bringing us right in, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Shoulder issues. Oh, look what we got going here, guys. Look at what we got going here. What system is going to touch all this that's going to slam it? Only one. The lymphatic system again. The only one. That's why they can't get it. They don't understand it. They don't accept that yet, like you guys do. They don't understand it yet. When they do, it'll be a huge aha moment, and then, oh crap, look what we've been doing.
Yes.
See? So you can tell that whichever side this is on, that's that kidney that's not filtering well, but that's that lymph system backed up here. And not only will it make it stiff and tight, it'll chew it up. I mean, remember the calcium buffering system? So you've already fell victim of that. But here's the problem. It doesn't sound like to me right off you're putting calcium back. So this right off is the case with the thyroid and with all this. Where are we going to look, guys? We're going to look at the parathyroid gland. You betcha, thyroid glands. But what else? Going to take a little peekaboo. Pituitary. Controls everybody. So we're going to take a peekaboo at the pituitary, controls everybody, and we know we're going after the parathyroid gland. We're also going to remove the acids out, which is uniting that, or using the calcium buffering system. In other words, stealing your calcium out of connective tissue instead of using lipids. Generally, you're going to use the adrenal cortisol or some of the alkaline corticosteroids or cholesterol itself. But when you start sucking down the calciums, boy, I'm surprised you don't have depression, honey. The healing journey for me began with the misdiagnosis of interstitial cystitis. Well, but this is all interstitial. And I'm glad that that word is getting used more and more and more so people become familiar with interstitial. It means around the cells. Interstitial, spaces around them. Well, why would cells have spaces around them for? Because they're individuals, and the spaces around them is how I can get blood, or how life can get blood and lymph around those cells. And so we can feed and then clean the acids away from those cells, keeping their consciousness up. Doctors gave me antibiotics. antibiotics for almost 2 whole years. Before they, and of course, by giving this poor soul antibiotics for 2 years, they killed systemic bacteria. Well, what good are the systemic bacteria? Oh, they only break down your acids from 3 pH to about 6 something. Thank you, bacteria. Love you guys so much. Sorry that you're not liked by some people. You know, sad stuff. And we were just talking about recluse and spider bites and poisons and stuff out front down there. And we were talking about the lymphatic formulas. You know, you get a recluse or a black widow spider bite, you go to the hospital, what do you get? Antibiotics. Are you kidding? That's all they have the brain power for is antibiotics? You ought to see them when they come in. We had a lady come in from the hospital down here. Been in there 3 days with a recluse spider. She left there because it was so bad and it wasn't getting any better. It was getting worse. We had it gone in like 2 weeks. Less. Because these aren't bacterial bites. What the heck are they thinking? These are hemio or excitotoxic issues. You can't use antibiotics for that. That is stupid. Same thing if you get snake bit. If you're out there and you guys are out there in the wilds, what formula do you want to take with you? One formula in particular you want to take with you if you're out camping or hiking and you think there's snakes. Lymphatics. All those lymphatic herbs are for poisons. I was just talking about the mongoose, the cobra syndrome where they got the plantain. Oh, we got plantain in a lot of our formulas. But any poke, bloodroot, these are all for poisons. So you want to have a lymphatic formula, you get snake bit or what, it'll save your butt. So they've compromised this person greatly by using antibiotics for the UTI, which is not an infection. I mean, they use the word infection like it's, you got to find another word, because these are just systemic acids. And they're a lot worse than infectious. They'll rip you apart. I don't know what they're thinking. I was told had no cure. Well, but they're right. You have to understand, you're in the medical world. And when you're in the medical world, don't get upset. There is no cures for anything in the medical world. Tell me one. And don't hold your breath. Don't tell, there is none. You can't get a high blood pressure medication and tell me you're curing high blood pressure. And don't tell me by cutting off a woman's breast you just cured her of breast cancer. Those are fallacies. So, what do they cure? See, that's the problem. And people, it just has to shock them awake that there's no curative value there. And you're going there to get cured. So frustration exists big time. But it's going to. They just need to own up and tell the people the truth. We don't know what causes any of this stuff. We're just here to treat it with pharmaceuticals. And if you survive the pharmaceutical, you might survive the thing you have. Woo! Oh, I was told that no cure, that was no acceptable for my husband and I. You guys, that's because you're higher beings. You know, you don't listen to that crap. Yeah, we eventually found ozone therapy that seemed to help, but after 2 years it came back this January, or rather never left. That's better yet. You guys are getting smarto. And that will lead you to truth, and you will then be free, because now you will understand everything, whether you choose to follow into this or that, whatever, yeah, but the understanding of it. We fought other battles as well. I developed HELLP syndrome. I never heard of that. Hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes, low platelet count. Look at that. So, elevated liver enzymes, low platelet count. Well, the low platelet count, that's, now, as we know, the lungs are a primary source of platelets now. The bone marrow has always been considered the #1 spot. Now the lungs are considered. But with an elevated liver enzyme, you'll have to say now that this lymph, right, that's all in the thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, all of this, and slamming you here in the shoulder, is also in the liver. Would that make sense? Because it's systemic. You can't have lymph fluid in one place without it being in another, right? It's systemic. There isn't lymph fluid just for the liver, lymph fluid just for the brain. But I don't like that. But you need to get on a detox program, and hit the liver gallbladder formula. You can get into the bone marrow, but you might look at the spleen a little bit. Take a picture of your eyes and see what you see. The morning after the birth by a C-section due to breech presentation of our daughter, wow, they almost lost me in a 5-day battle. Oh my God, where they were trying to force me to give horrible formula to our daughter. Boy, these guys just don't get it. Months later, after being thoroughly investigated because we were refusing formula, oh my God. I had a discussion this morning with the staff, part of the staff. The staff related to Artie. So I want to have a big meeting with you Artie people because I'm going to turn things around on you. You got to understand why we're trying to develop an association for and what we're here for. And when you get that, you will enjoy where we're going. But we are going to an association that is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Because when the state goes after people like this, we're going to go after the state. See, that's why an association, there's no reason to have an association for picnics. You want an association for protection and gathering of information. And that's just, this is sad stuff, but this is part of the reality on this warring planet, is that when you want to do better and you have children, be careful, because all these countries claim they have jurisdiction over your kids. I tell you, I'm trying to get Renee's head turned around from being a federal attorney to getting into common law and understanding the protections we have under sovereignties and all that sort of thing. Jurisdictions and that sort of thing. When you go to school to become an attorney, common law isn't something you really study. Nor do you understand how they put the statutes together, all of that kind of stuff. Months later, after being thoroughly investigated, that makes me sick. Formula the IC symptoms came back. Stress, yeah, I bet. Stress was unbearable. They were threatening to take away our baby. And finally found out she was tongue-tied. She came back strong and is now a 1-year-old raw loving baby. And look at what you guys had to endure. I've had to endure the state on me twice. This world doesn't want truth. Have you noticed? Look at what Trump's battling. This world doesn't want truth. This world would rather lose itself in the negative forces. Socialism and things like that. But not really. Because the minute you start losing your freedom, the minute you start howling, and especially Americans, because that's what their premise is based upon. Not Christianity, freedom. Freedom from all things, even religion. Doesn't matter what religion you decide to study. That's your gig. Who cares? I don't care what religion people look at or philosophy or things. But that will make you good karma or bad karma one way or another. Yeah, just be careful what you choose to believe in, because you are the living truth as you are. So when you choose to believe what other people have written up or buy into, that's your choice. But just remember, when you're seeking the living truth, as Jesus said, you only have to look at one place: yourself. So just remember, each and every one of you is the living truth. You just have to understand that. Quit looking outside of yourselves for the answers of life. You are the answer. Oh man, I feel sorry for these people, because I see this so much. A fight just to raise your kids healthy, isn't that just makes you want to throw up? You can imagine these people and how they treat their kids. I have been working on protocols with the wonderful Marcy. Oh, wow. Since April, and switched to a raw in February. It has been quite the experience. Adrenals were chronic, but I had no idea. I was a vegetarian for years, but I wish I had known what dairy and grains were doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That is where your book started all of this. Oh, good. I have numerous queries, but I will try to be brief as a curious Irish American woman can. We have an Irish and American female here. All right, let's see. And a little Irish in me, I say. The freckled look. Oh, God. I like the skin that you don't even have to go out in the sun and you already look like you're tanned. Like Egyptians and, I mean, there's some beautiful skinned people out there and they look dark and nice already. And it's like, We're in Florida. We all try to get tans down here. So let me see here. Alrighty. First, I have been working on detoxifying while nursing. Ooh, wow. Marcy has had me on 2 different protocols that include me eating some steamed vegetables occasionally so I could keep up with the amount of nursing the doctors have been pushing. God, can't they just leave us alone? We know how to take care of our own. Thank you very much. Jesus. I have been weaning this individual, I can't pronounce the name, off breast milk so I can really dig in. Now, 1-year-old I would be too. To be honest with you, I would be too. I'd be introducing him to, or her, I apologize, but the name is difficult for me to pronounce. Seirshuh. Tough. But, God, where do you live? To have all these doctors on your backs like this, I'd stop going to them. I mean, this is ridiculous. These guys sounds like they're the king of narcissisms. You know, what do they even care? I can't imagine a medical doctor caring that much about your kids. No, power maybe, but not about your kids, really. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I agree with you. I think it's time. And since you've been doing the milks and stuff, you might get a little mucus coming out of the baby too, you know. I'm experiencing massive fatigue and have been able to tell if it's from healing crisis or just stress. Do you have any suggestions? Well, as she got you on the, I would at least do the adrenal with the licorice, and you could do a dropper full of licorice root 3 or 4 times a day. Licorice should bring your neurotransmitters up quicker and give you a sense of having more. But Marcy knows that, and probably have had you on that. You could combine the 400 milligrams with glandular, with the herbal, with the licorice. But I want you to think about the pituitary here too, because if you can't seem to get a gland going and you're really hitting it, start thinking about the pituitary up here, because that might be what's sitting down on it. And no matter how you work the gland, it's not really wanting to budge, because then you want to work upstairs a little bit. That's why upper circ, brain and nerve are 2 excellent formulas, and then a pituitary or something like that. What is your take on the cause of my HELLP syndrome, acidosis? No question. There's only one take on that, because there's only 2 sides of chemistry. There's only 2 fluid-based systems in the body, and everything else is a genetic cell at various levels of states of consciousness, and some chemistry in there depending. So that's always acidosis when you see that, especially when you see the liver enzymes shooting up. But just the suppression of platelets, that one is one where I would want to look at that one, because elevated platelets, elevated white blood cells, that's one thing. Low platelets, low white blood cells, that's another. You didn't mention white, but I'm just connecting those 2 because they do that in leukemia. But getting on the liver gallbladder formula and digging in a little more. I'll say this though, be careful with the lymphatic formulas, especially lymphatic 5. If you have elevated liver enzymes, I'd be careful with lymphatic 5, because that's got the blood root and poke root, and that's strong on the liver. There's no question. But when you're facing massive tumors, I'll take a little stress on my liver going after a tumor. I mean, it's not overly stressful, but if you take it too long, it can be. And I don't think one needs to take, I think lymphatic 5s and stuff 1 month at a time. Take 1 month, come off, go to lymphatic 1, try something else, then come back later. Since they said I had such a healthy pregnancy, you know, this is again the lymphatic system, but you said it many times here that you're stressful and stuff, and which gland hits the stressful side? All right, so the same gland controls what? kidneys, right? We're talking about the adrenal glands, controls the kidneys. And what does the kidneys control? The lymphatic system. So you can see a person's lymphatic, I've seen this many times, you can see your lymphatic system shut down on a day that you're stressed out, it's not a good day, you don't have a lot going on, you just feel tired. You can see more swelling and pain in those days. Your kidneys are shut down, your adrenals are shut down. Now, there's always cycles of the body, stuff like that. So maybe, but you should. They should be so minor, you shouldn't even know them, to be honest with you. And if you're on a total raw and you got everything regenerated, you shouldn't even see those cycles. Second, I have noticed my IC, interstitial cystitis symptoms, are directly affected by my cycle. Why? Right? Excuse me. Your monthly cycle is an estrogenic cycle. It is an acid cycle. That's why the bleeding. So it's a cleansing cycle, no question. But that's when your estrogen goes up, right? Progesterone is your alkaline side of that. Estrogen is your acidic side. You can always go back to chemistry and nail it on the head. Is estrogen acidic or is it base? It's acidic. So whenever you add and this just shows you why you never, and ladies are the ones that prove it to us, why you never add an acid to an already acid condition like chemotherapy onto cancer. That's criminal. You never add an acid on top of an acid condition, because you take all these ladies that all have the fibromyalgia, systemic acidosis, lupus, Lyme's, all this, and then you give them a monthly cycle with estrogen going up. Not always fun for ladies. They can wig out, they can go nuts, because you're hitting them on the acid side. No one's cooling them down. More acid, more acid, more acid. While you know you're on, and when you have a modality pushing acids, you know they're on the negative side. Healing is on the base side. If anything, blood taught us that alkalinity has to dominate acid to make it balance. Balance isn't 50-50. Homeostasis is not 50-50. Not on this planet. And if it was on another planet, we in the physical couldn't live on it. 50-50 is hard to live on. So that's why your blood is base dominant. Not heavy base dominant, but base dominant. And remember, logarithm, so you can see how much. So, what's interstitial cystitis in the first place? Understand what that is in the first place. Interstitial tells you right off that it's in between your cells, right? Interstitial. Spaces in between your cells. Boom! That's easy. What is itis? Acidosis. Inflammation. So you have inflammation in your interstitial spaces around your cells. Well, wait a minute. How can I have that? What's in there? 20% blood, 80% lymphatic. I'm just saying. So when you're not and look, your bladder's right there, and here's your kidneys. They're the ones filtering, but your bladder, if your lymph node isn't, because remember, your bladder's made of what? Cells. And each cell, even in your bladder, does what? Eliminates waste. And it's just your lymph system in your bladder, even though right there at the doorway is stagnant. And it'll chew your bladder up. You'll lose your connective tissue. And pretty soon, you'll start prolapsing everything down. Oh, it's coming out. That's not good. Okay? So you want to fix these things. To fix interstitial anything is to get the kidneys and the adrenal glands pairing up and filtering this lymphatic system. Filtration of the kidneys is everything, in my opinion. Where's my pictures? Where's my pictures? Filtration, kidney filtration, a must. Clear urine, medical doctors, you can keep it for yourself. You can have all the clear urine you want, but not our clients. We want filtration. We want our septic system working. We don't want water coming out of a sewer system that we're dumping into, do we? No. Oh, okay, where am I here? So, the same thing to fix IC, interstitial cystitis, is the same thing you're fixing all this other stuff. Because if you can't get your sewer system, you can't get these acids out of agglomulation. You can't get yourself hydrated and filtering these systemic metabolitic acids out of your body. Good luck. because you're not going to get well. That I know. How are you going to get well? What pharmaceutical is going to get rid of systemic acids for you? Make them magically disappear? None. Nothing. Not even an herb will do that. We might have some decent anti-inflammatories. Means we'll put a little slippery elm or marshmallow on that IC of yours. And that's another thing. I would be drinking the holy heck out of marshmallow root, slippery elm bark. Yep. Because those soothe the mucosa. And they will soothe irritation from acids. So I would use, so is mullein. So any of those three, I would be using those. You could also sip on the 3-lung tea because you have mullein, fenugreek, and pleurisy root. All of those are there to break up this hard acids in the body and also as an anti-inflammatory. So any of those things you could sip on that tea. It's needless to say that I wouldn't have an acid ash diet. That's like estrogen giving you an acid bump in an already acid condition. That just makes nothing but make it worse. If you got an acid condition, there's only one side of chemistry that you can get remedy on. Only one. I'm going to go over to the female or base side of chemistry. Oh, this is where it's warm and fuzzy. This is where it's good. I love this side. So, use those things. When I first went on the raw cycle, it just disappeared, but after 2 months it came back, and the IC symptoms grew worse. That's because you got to get your kidneys filtering and go after this until you get yourself done. You know, the one problem that people have, I think, is that it's somewhat miraculous sometimes when you go on raw because symptoms disappear real quick sometimes. And it's just like a miracle. Oh my God. But then reality sets in, it's a little bit of work ahead of you. You know, but okay. But it lets you know what you're going. It's almost like God said, this is where you're going. Feel how good that feels? Remember that? Well, they're back because they're still here, but we can fix them. Remember that feeling you just had? That's why God does that to itself. It's like, oh. But it gives you that sense, oh, I can do this. Because you now know what you feel like pain-free for once. No matter what you do, you guys in pain, you get out of pain. That's just acidosis. Let me see here. After 2 months again, let's see, doctors put me on contraceptives when I turned 17 to treat me for endometriosis. To treat you for endometriosis, they put you on contraceptives? That's contraindicated. That's giving you an estrogenic formula, which keeps you aborted, but at the same time, it keeps you acid. And endometriosis is an acidic condition. Kind of like an ulcer, I guess, huh? After a while, it just gets so acidic that you don't feel it, and then it explodes on you. I know now that was horrible for me. I have a doctor now saying the endometriosis may be pushing on my bladder. So I should get the stuff removed. You know, it's funny. That'd be the medical doctor advice. Our advice would say, you know, better get your kidneys filtering and get that endometriosis out of there. That way you can save your bladder and uterus. Or you could go across the street and have a medical doctor cut it out, but that didn't make your kidneys filter better. That didn't change the rest of the tissues that are in trouble. That didn't do anything for you except compromise you even more by getting scar tissue adhesions and all that crap. I mean, it's just it's an ongoing thing. We push regeneration, and that's because your body regenerates itself, but not under the acid sky. It don't. You got to be under the alkaline or base sky. I just been staying on the protocols. Could this all be cycle related, and could my cycle ever stop aggravating my? Absolutely. Oh yeah. You said it like you're going to keep your IC. No, you're getting rid of all these acids interstitially. So if you have a disease that could be called interstitial cystitis, when you're cleaning your interstitial spaces around all your cells, whoops, that means that IC is probably going to be gone, I guess. See how it works? I can get up 6 times at night. Yeah, I bet. At night, and it is, so I know, because you're swollen. You're swollen and acidic, my dear one. But you start sipping on the 3-lung tea. You can add a little marshmallow and slippery elm to that. That's going to help you. It'll reduce the swelling. So will mullein. But the swelling is directly from acid stagnation. Well, where does that take you? That takes you either to the kidneys or the skin. And if your kidneys are filtering, generally the skin is not burdened that much. If your thyroid is down, get it up and get yourself sweating. All right. I mentioned, so I have tried multiple things. I even added a bit of Parasite M to mix, as Marcy suggested. I have used the Heal-All tea the ways you have mentioned. Yeah. But you could use the 3-lung tea, especially slippery arm marshmallow by itself, or add that to the 3-lung tea. The Heal-All tea is very helpful for that, no question about it. It does have a little drawing power to it, so it could irritate a little bit. But now, third, I am a very skinny woman. So, what does that tell us right now? Malabsorption. Malabsorption, but wouldn't we just about guess it? Because she's really involved up here. Heavy involved lymphatically up here. Well, it's systemic, so that means you're talking about malabsorption here. So this lady is probably malabsorbed as well. She's very skinny. So you see what this means for you? Because when you start to get well, we put your body in the repair shop, right? And you just have to wear a sign. My body's in the repair shop. That's a good shirt we should sell for detoxifiers. My body's in the repair shop. You know, but you have to fix the interstitial constipation lymphatically, or you can't fix anything. So you have no choice but to ride through this. I don't know what to say about it, because there's nothing good about it, one way or another, except that you can get out of it by hanging in there, running through that super skinny stage, and then going on top. This is what he did, and look at where he's at now. I have white hair as a child. What? What? I had white hair as a child, and now it is auburn and has always had some white strands in it since I was born. I'd be on upper circumbrain nerve right now. Upper circumbrain nerve. You got some things to look at here, you know. But I would do upper circumbrain nerve on top of going after the lymphatic, the bowels, you know, that sort of thing. I was diagnosed with albinism by an eye doctor because of the lack of pigment in my eye. Oh, you know what that means, don't you? That's maybe why you're not pulling yourself out of this adrenal thing. Well, pituitary. Goes without saying. You could become totally albino. I have albino clients. I have one in Hawaii, but I haven't heard from her for years. But you know, when you're born albino, I can't imagine how long it would take you. I have no, I've never had one that we could stay with me for years and see what happens. See, since we are a tropical species, what can I do when I can barely stand? Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's what happened to us. We got out of the tropics, and look what happened to our melanin. So now we can't stand the sun, which is our very nectar we need. I know. All I can tell you is you do the best you can. Use indirect sunlighting, because you need indirect full spectrum lighting for the health of the body. You got to get full spectrum lighting through these eyeballs. So indirect, okay, but work on your pituitary gland big time. Oh yeah, and I'm going to say, with what else we're reading, what else are you going to add with that pituitary? Parathyroid. What do we have? Scoliosis. We have all kinds of things like that. We need parathyroid. We need calcium utilization. All right, see where we're going here? Marcy's probably done this for you. I don't know. I don't have your case in front of me. I have a rough family history. My mother had her hip replaced 8 times. Parathyroid, pituitary, family trait. Tell you right down the line. Your family's having the same problem here. So here you go. If your mom is still alive, explain to her you got to fix her parathyroid, or you're going to keep it. See, when you're acidic, how does your body deal with that? Because acids are corrosive. Knowing acids will rip you apart, literally. What happens when you become predominantly acidic? How do you stop that? Well, there's only one side of chemistry to get on. There's only one other side of chemistry. And to learn, excuse me, I apologize. I've been hitting the mangoes. It's been pulling it out of me. Oh, I was going to bring you a bunch of mangoes. I'm a little hoarder right now. And I have mangoes. What is this? August, 21st? And I've got mangoes. and I'm going to have mangoes for 2 more weeks. I'm not talking about mangoes. I'm talking about mangoes. Mongos. Yeah, these ain't mangoes. These are mongos. They're not as big as I'd like this year, but still they're pretty big. So you want to get that back. You want to get that pituitary up and running. It sounds to me like it's slamming the other ones, and especially you guys' parathyroid and your mother. Look at that crap. This is horrible. And you know what's sad? You know what's sad to that? Is your mom has been to an osteopath, or either an osteopath or a bone guy, and they still don't understand the parathyroid connection to that. I am not joking. The doctor was incompetent. Oh no, I bet. She finally got a new surgeon. Ma has shoulder problems. One has had surgery on it, and now they are looking to work on the other one. See, and this is a never-ending story. You ever see that movie, The Never-Ending Story? That was cute, wasn't it? But this is a never-ending story, and it always will be. Until you fix a couple things. You got to fix the acid, the lymphatic system, and you got to fix the, which will help fix the parathyroid and thyroid. Parathyroid, thyroid, and pituitary, but you got to fix those. You got to go after those. I would be going after those right this very minute, because, and you run a lot of risks here, brother. Holy crap. Knees, hips, oh my God. Oh, get this. Oh, let's see. You know, it's sad we just don't have cold and flus anymore. We just don't have acute conditions anymore. No. It's pushed us all into medical. It's pushed us all into the chronic levels. So here goes mother. Fibromyalgia, scoliosis, same with daughter here. Hypothyroidism, any connection? Arthritis and bladder issues. Sounds just like you, honey. See, that's what I'm saying. We're imprints physically. You know, it has to be that way. But what I see here is definitely hypothyroid, parathyroid, both, and also hypopituitarism as well. Right? All this arthritis and all this is the result of acid ash diets with these weaknesses. That's what you've been doing. So to rectify that, you have to change from eating acid ash-forming foods, which is your proteins, your grains, your pasteurized dairies, and go to your alkaline ash-forming foods. Fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables, basically. Forget quinoa millet. I heard you over there. Forget those two. The doctor I am seeing now is a nice man. Oh, good. But he keeps saying I have a lot of issues, Ma. He keeps saying I have a lot of the issues Ma has. Well, duh. I'm her daughter. I'm her genetic downline. Thou has and asks about cortisone shots for me shoulder. Oh, I would do that. Yeah. Give yourself some loaded cortisone shots. That'll help you. Of course, if you want your adrenals to slam down and then it to blow back twice as bad, go ahead. Horrible. You know what? They're a broken record. Did they ever learn and grow? It's a broken record. 45 years I've been in this field, a broken record. At least we grow and understand, and we grow, we learn. Since now I have bursitis, they say. Who cares what they name it? You got acidosis, systemic acidosis. If you don't fix it, it's going to chew you up. Bottom line. Bottom line. No matter where. That's location, location, location. Same problem, different location. All through you. My father has had double My father has had double bypass surgery, leg cramps, IBS, and more. Well, you've got a big load on you, Darwin. You've got to clean up yourself and your family, too. See what I mean? Everybody's sick out there, and these people are living miserable lives. You need to fix all this. Every one of your mom and your dad are both very fixable stuff here. Very fixable. They see what I am doing and think I am nuts. Probably, just as long as you don't eat it. Eat nuts? Let them think you're nuts all along, but don't eat them. They keep saying I am not better yet, so what am I doing? Well, I can see where they have a point with that. You know, I understand that. Because some people think it's magic. Is it over? The solar eclipse over? But I can see how they can think that. I really do. Because it takes time to repair and get into chronic levels. And I don't know what to say about it. You know, as we're talking with this, check your pituitary, check what this thing, see if Marcy's touched on those. If she hasn't, then you got to go there. But I have to see your case. Well, that is your case. But your mother and your dad's hurting. They've been hurting probably for years. The medical doctors haven't helped them one little bit, and not going to, because there's nothing they can do about it. And so they're chastising you. I got to laugh. But I can see why, you know. But they're sitting there taking all this and living on pharmaceuticals, I'm sure, to some degree, and yet with no improvement either for years. At least you're working on yourself. Our family on both sides has ostracized us in many ways. Who cares? You know what? Who cares? You are here for yourself and for the divine. And who cares if someone doesn't like it? Too bad. Go plant a tree somewhere. Go plant a navel tree somewhere. Because who cares if someone likes you or not like you? Get over that. It doesn't matter if someone likes you. We all want to be liked. But you are loved by the divine, since you are the divine in expression. So be the lover. You don't have to be loved. You don't have to want love. You be the one giving love. Because you have all the love you need if you understand who you are. You don't need any more love. You are the epitome of love, since you are the divine in expression. So it's not something you need anymore. Get into the alone state. Tap into that alone state, into yourself. And I guarantee you, you will not be needing of anything anymore. You might need to have shelter and some food, of course, basics, but you don't need anything. You want to experience the all more. So you don't need people that don't need you, right? And you just want to be friends with people. You don't want to need anyone. All right? You just have to realize you're the total package, dear. And it doesn't matter if they ostracize you or not. Who cares? The divine is the only thing that matters. But we keep pressing on. Sounds like you're a good family, a good woman, your husband, and you just keep pressing on. You win the day. You know truth. You stand up for truth. That's simple. Who cares? You know, you have to realize that at any given time, only a few people on this planet understand truth. Only a few. There'll be more now, but still there will be hordes of people that will never understand it while you're still here. The question is, will these crazy genetic weaknesses definitely be my future? No, because you're turning it around now. But dig in. Let's see what you're doing. Let me see. This says return to Gen B and me. And I'll see Marcy about this. And I'll see what I'll look at your case. All right? I also want to state I have 2 rounds of physical therapy with no relief in my left shoulder. You're not going to get a relief with physical therapy. I mean, if you've broken an arm and you've had it sedentary for months, yeah, physical therapy is going to open up that lymph pathway and everything else. Your lymph pathway is frozen. You're agglomerated, what they call. You're impacted or constipated. You're not filtering. So you're stagnant. You're locked. And by physically moving it, there's nowhere for it to go. You're not filtering. You're all backed up from the eliminative organs to the tissues. So there's nowhere to go. So exercise can make it worse. No. You have to relax. Try another side. Relax. And dig into those kidneys. You've got to get them filtering. I'm sure she's had you dry fasting. She loves dry fasting. So you keep working it. But if you're going slow and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, take a look at your diet. Make sure that it's 100% raw. If it's not 100% raw, don't bitch. Now, do you want to go faster? Get rid of the vegetables. I'm just telling you. All right? Now, how's my attitude? Am I going to knock this out the park? Or let me see if this works. See, people that say, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to get rid of this. They win the day. Because they power up. They power up against all the negative forces against them. and they come and win the day, and you will too. Haven't noticed the right knee, that I was diagnosed with water on the knee. Honey, you're just acidic. Oh, it's just good to say that you're acidic all over the place. Edema is the side effect of acidosis, and not surprised one little bit, are you? So understand what you got down, and then there's no surprises that you have problems popping up everywhere. Ankle, toes, you name it. It doesn't matter what it's called. This is Dave's knee, it seems. Doesn't matter what it's called. And it can be a healing crisis, absolutely. Anything you've ever experienced in your past till the present, you can go back and re-experience it during detox. Knees, hips, old injuries, oh yeah, oh yeah. Marcy has been treating my no, she hasn't, because she doesn't treat. Aha, gotcha. Marcy has been helping me with knowledge about my hypothyroidism so I can take steps to fix it better. With a glandular, and before that I was given a natural thyroid by a naturopath. See, that's the problem. If he gives your Armor, that's a natural thyroxine, that'll just make it weaker. Might help short term, but that's only the symptom. The hypothyroidism was newly diagnosed in 2015, so still a bit new. Hypothyroid just means you have low thyroid, but didn't we come to the conclusion here that you have a pituitary weakness? Don't jump on the thyroid too quick. You want to look at that pituitary upstairs. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to look at your case here. I noticed when I first went off the natural thyroid, my energy really dropped. Yeah, because you were stimulating it with thyroxine. That's why. And that's what you don't do, because you'll have the blowback. Then when I went on your glandular informants, it went up, and now it is back and down again. Yep, absolutely. Because you have to heal it. You're talking about two things. When you have a hypo or hyper condition in the body, remember the acute and subacute levels of acidosis and lymph stagnation can cause hyper or hypofunction of tissue. Remember, this is when acids and mucus is starting to build up interstitial around the cells. This can suffocate, suppress, or hyperstimulate them. Either way. To fix either one of those, you have to fix the lymphatic system. You can take formulas, you can take all kinds of things to get the cells up and all kinds of things, but until you fix your lymphatic system, you're only going to have a so-so result to this. But I submit to you that you need to work with your pituitary as well. You might find a little more permanent bump to that. But I have a feeling your pituitary is a big part of that. I'd be upper circumbrain nerve if I was you for long-term use for a while. Yeah. Went up and now it is back down again. Will I ever be able to rebuild my thyroid, parathyroid without a glandular? Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, I'd only use a glandular for about a month or so, and that'd be it. I'd go to the thyroid herbs, and I'd go to detoxing, but I would check my pituitary and my TSH. What's your TSH doing? If your blood work is in your chart, I'll look at it. My spine is killing me. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not even finished. That's another paragraph. The only real hard part, other than healing crisis, has been cravings. I asked Marcy about the strange one. The craving is barbecue pizza. Ooh, that does sound good. Nah, that's all the worst things you could possibly have. White flour. Oh, you can get a whole wheat one, still bad. Cheese. Tomato sauce. You can always get the white. What else we got? Meat. Barbie sauce. God, that's all the acid stuff. That's on top of the no-nos, baby. That's got all the bads in there. That's got the top 5 worst foods in there. Have you seen our top 5 chart yet? I don't know where that chart is. Funny. I wouldn't doubt it. You could have some worms that's still in the body or something, who knows? Your cells love stuff sometimes. Who knows? With pineapple. Oh, you want pineapple on the pizza? And banana peppers as well? I like the banana peppers. Sour, salty, buttery. Boy, well, let's see. Your gallbladder's down, your adrenals are down, your funny stuff. Yeah. The combo has been a craving since I was pregnant. I was just going to mention, sounds like you're pregnant. And has never stopped. Even orange sauce or buffalo's orange sauce, huh? Buffalo sauce too, huh? Salt is from adrenals, of course. Sweet and sour, and the light cheese from fungus. At least the light cheese is, and the white flour is. What can I do to get rid of these particular cravings? Well, you know what? You got to get into that. Keep moving that lymph out. You can do Parasite M, dropper and a half, maybe full, 4 times a day. Try to get that fungus out, but moving lymph will put the fungus out with it. That's kicking the fungus out the door with it. But yeah. My spine is killing me. I notice sometimes it feels like it is twisting. Oh. It probably is. You got scoliosis, so I mean that's what you're claiming. So that can't be fun. No. Yeah, I'm not going to hit the yes button on that one. Oh my God, honey. See, and feel that lymph. Do those neural lymphatic points down your spine, but feel that lymph going down through there. Work on those neural lymphatic points big time. I use hot and cold showers. I get those kidneys filtering at all costs. Now you got me curious about your eyes. Now you got me curious. Matter of fact, I'm sure everybody on this channel right now is curious about your eyes. So what I'm going to do, let's see, Katrina. This is Katrina. You know what? There's Attila. I don't see Marcy. But I'll look into it, and maybe I'll bring those eyes back and show you guys too. Is that okay? Then we can see the eyes of someone with so many problems, right? And let's just see how off we are. We're hitting the pituitary, you know. That's obvious, though, in this case. The spine. Okay, now, it says, it feels like it is twisting. I hope it is. I hope it is. Oh, back to normal? Absolutely. And it will twist back to normal. My chiropractor acupuncturist said she felt my daughter would not turn because my pelvis was so twisted and I'm petite. I wouldn't buy into any of those stupid explanations. Your daughter's in trouble too, maybe even worse than any of you guys. You know, all your structures are going to have to be small, your pelvic structures, kids are going to have to not come out vaginally, you're going to have to do cesarean. I mean, you got all kinds of things to think about what happens when you start losing the parathyroid gland and calcium utilization, especially with women wanting better children. All these sort of things. Oh, yeah. Oh. I have 15 degrees of scoliosis. Do you think this pain is from my spine trying to correct itself? Could be. But let me be totally clear. I would be 100% raw. Period. And I'd be scratching out the salads. I could leave a green drink or two with parsley, dandelion greens, and beet. Maybe throw in some sweetie stuff like cucumbers and stuff, but that's where I'd be focusing. But my big focus is going to be on the fruits and berries and the melons. I need my lymph system filtering and cleaned. I am way too acidic. I'm losing calcium like crazy. My body's twisting and turning, and it won't be long. You'll be twisting and turning like this. We can open you back up, but what fun is that? Because you're going to go back on the same diet I'm pushing you right now. You come to us, Turley and Twisty, Lou Gehrig's, MS, we're going to go right. We're going to fruits, berries, and melons. So why not do it now? I had a horrible start when I was married young. The first marriage nearly killed me, and there is even evidence of arsenic poisoning. Oh, shit. Where do you live, honey? Holy crap. I developed PTSD a couple of years later before my marriage to my husband. I have been having pretty bad anxiety and depression lately. Well, you know what? You've got adrenals and parathyroid down, but I submit to you, your pituitary's down, controlling all the other ones and sitting on them, so you want to go after them. You got me intrigued. I don't know how to get a hold of Marcy. I like her to bring your folder down. I don't know how to get a hold of anybody. I don't know how to work these phones. They're always getting new ones. But it just tells me your adrenals and parathyroid are down even more. You have your mom, you all give enough evidence to all this is true. You just got to go after and fix this. I don't know what's going on with you and your program lately, and I think it is due to detoxing. I feel so worn and at times helpless to do even what I love. How do I get through this part of the detoxing process? I pray and try to relax, but always feel so tense. Well, use an antispasmodic. Use the flower essence, especially the moonshine yarrow. Surround yourself with flowers. Use meditation. Get yourself alone and not try to think. Get away from thinking and just hang out at the beach and look at the water. Get around a body of water and just absorb it to the universe and become one with all things. As you can do. Your body can't do it, but you can. Now, I have having trouble breathing off and on with dizziness as well. Holy crap. Is there anything you don't have? Well, the dizziness comes from the back of the head. Any surprises there with the scoliosis and everything involved? And of course, what was the other thing you said? Breathing on and off. Okay, what do you need to breathe? Neurotransmitters. Where do you get the neurotransmitters for? What nervous system controls breathing? Autonomic. All right? Sympathetic, parasympathetic. Where's the brain of that? Stomach. Oh, interesting, huh? Where do you get the neurotransmitters from? Adrenal glands. How low is your blood pressure, by the way? I mean, to have SOB, you have to have unless you have high blood pressure, with all the acidosis and all the stress and stuff could run your blood pressure up, but you really have low blood pressure. I'm curious how low it goes. Yeah, if you don't get the endocrine glands fixed up, but why aren't you draining up here? You need to candle your ears, 3 or 4 candles per ear. Use some hot and cold compresses on the cerebellum back here. This is your dizzy equilibrium center, your mastoids, all of this. Around 2014, I started coughing up little mucus balls that were tiny but stranded together. Well, that's good. I also started wheezing. You got to clean out your lungs and bronchi. I still do this from time to time, but it is slowing some. Well, you're cleaning yourself out. I was told I have retinitis as a child. Oh my God. You come in this world extremely acidic, dear one. Your mother has got to be one big acid. No offense, Mom. It sounds like you're one big acid. Believe this is just stagnant mucus from all that dairy. I'm sure it is. But that's only the acute. You're only at the acute level. That's nothing. You have to see the sub and chronic levels come out of you. You want to see yellow mucus? Remember, when you feel like your cold and flu's gotten a little deeper, you have yellow. What's the next kind of mucus coming out deeper than that? Green or brown. And you can feel it's deeper, can't you? Because it is deeper. These are the stages. Acute turns a blue eye white, and it comes out white mucus. Subacute turns a blue eye yellow, and it comes out yellow mucus. A chronic level of lymph stagnation turns a blue eye brown. And I mean, you can have a totally brown eye and have blue eyes. And the mucus comes green and brown out. And then, when you hit the deeper degenerative levels, you're getting black, skunky, thick, tarry mucus out. Stools or up. And that's when I know I'm in you. That's when I know I'm good. I had a young man with stomach cancer once, diagnosed by Moffitt up here. I ran him on a grape fast and herbs. I think I told you, 54th day, he fell to the bathroom floor, got a call. His girlfriend says, he's paralyzed. He's laying on the bathroom floor. So I'm going, oh, really? I said, what's going on? He said, well, he's kind of throwing up some nasty black looking stuff. I'm going, oh. I said, just let him lay there, get all this stuff up, and I think he even poops them out. And let all this black stuff get up and let him lay there for a little bit, make him comfortable, blah, 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 blah. I said, then get him to bed. So I didn't hear anything till the next day. Then I'm going, what's going on? So then I get a call, and it's him. He said, my God, what was that? I said, that was a major healing crisis. He said, my God, I feel so good. He said, I have more energy than I have ever had. He said, what the heck is this? So I sent him to a medical doctor on the 56th day of his program, observed by the local newspaper editor of the local newspaper, watched the whole process. Gone. 56 days. Gone. Got the front page of the newspaper. And like I told you, it brought hell on us. Nobody wants health on this planet much, except those that are higher aware or suffering too much. Governments would much rather have you suffer and spend your money. Now, breathing off and on, that's not good. You want to fix that, get your adrenals up. I was told that retinitis, you're just acidic all through yourself, my little dear one. Marcy says the dizziness along with the retina ringing in the ears is an equilibrium issue. Should endocrine balance help with all this and the lack of clarity of mind lately? Upper circuit, brain and nerve, my dear one, and detox your cerebellum. That's the only way you're going to get over that one. Upper circuit, brain and nerve, detox this head of yours, get your sinuses draining. To do that, candle your ears, get your bowels worked on, get yourself opened up here. Okay? Because you got to move out some acids out of the head area and the cerebellum area. Now my eyes. I plan on getting LASIK to make things easier and less costly down the road. I went to my old surgeon and he cleared me in October 2015. Now I went to another doctor who says I have lattice work degeneration in my right eye and need to have laser surgery to prevent another detachment. Only now it is in the eye that I have never had a detachment. My old doctor lasered the right some while he did the major surgery on the left. Now this man says he missed some spots and it all needed treated. He says LASIK will not affect him, but let's do it just in case. What? I am not sure what to do. Basically, he is saying the retina has atrophied and caused this degeneration. Well, yeah. Oh, let's back up. What cytochemistry caused this problem? The retina is only the effect. Don't look to the retina for your answers. Look to your lymphatic system for your answers. The retina can rebuild, but look to your lymphatic system for your answers because you're in deep trouble here, dear one. I'm living on fruits, berries, and milk. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of a 40-day grape diet right this very minute, aren't you? I thought you were. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. See, you don't want to be my client because I'm going to run you hard. I don't play games. When you have this much of a problem, I don't play games. You got to be serious here. Because you got a problem. I would use the eye wash topically and internally. I would get a formula we call, what is it? My God, what is that formula? Anyway, it's an eye formula. It's by health concerns. It's a Chinese formula. I think it is. But it's got raw eye tissue. It's got bilberry. It's got all kinds of nutrients, but it has some vitamins and minerals. I don't care. I would get that one. Stop this. Insult to this. Use the eye wash topically at least 3 times a day. 12 drops in an eye cup. But you're after your pituitary. You're after your parathyroid. You want to strengthen connective tissue. You're after some stuff, honey. You've got so much going on here that you got to pull yourself in line. And I would grab my mother and say, watch this video with me and let's get moving. Because you're up to nothing good. Nothing good here. Nothing good. And with equilibrium and dizzy and everything else, just a far cry for brain lesions and MS or whatever, and then nursing homes, and see where I'm going? Not good. None of this is good. But it's the acid side of chemistry degenerated in your retina. Okay, so acids. Okay, where'd they come from? Well, the cells themselves of the retina, the cells of the eye, the cells of the head, cells eliminate poop. Cells eat and eliminate, guys. So you're not eliminating metabolitic waste from your cells. Your cells are being chewed upon on their own sewage. It'd be like having massive constipation for years, not being able to poop for years. Think you live that long? No. You would die just like your cells die. Same difference. As if this is one big cell, not one little cell. Same thing happens to the little cell that happens to the big cell when it gets acidic. Acids are corrosive, period, and you only have one other side of chemistry to reach for. That's how simple this is. Don't struggle with the mind, because intellectualism gets you lost. Simplicity brings you back to the door of truth. This idea of simple-mindedness, what they don't understand is the joke's on them. The more simplicity you deal with, the more you can see, because you're not stupid, you're conscious. You're a conscious being at one level. You're just too busy thinking and desiring to know that. Stop that, and you'll start to come into the realization that, oh look, I'm much more than I thought I was. This is a long thing, dear one, and you got a lot of problems. So I'm not for any surgeries if you can avoid it. You haven't mentioned cataracts yet. That would be cholesterol plaquing. That's just icing on your cake. Holy crap. So if you don't need it, what do you think is happening with my eyes? Acidosis? Underline that about 50 times, dear. To say the least. There's only two sides of chemistry, and everything on this planet is created by, lives in, works with, ran by chemistry. And there's only two sides to it. It's like this whole thing with fruit and how sweet it is. Oh, really? Maltose, grain sugar? Now eat a real sweet fruit and then eat a piece of bread. Which one's sweeter? Fruit? Nope. The bread. That is maltose or dextrose. That is dye, moving toward polysaccharides. You're talking about monosaccharides with fruits. That's simple sugars. But I've always said that fruit tastes sweet. Thank you, Gord. Thank you, because it's really good. Tastes sweet like water feels wet. And yet water is only H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. And yet it feels really wet, don't it? Universal solvent. I mean, chemistry is unreal. And for anybody to think of chemistry and how this is put together, where does so much... the mind can't comprehend it. So get out of your mind. Thank you ever so much for all your help and all you do for everyone. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Oh, and husband, John, my husband, bless him. He is one who found your book for me. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, John. God bless you. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Katrina Miller. Well, honey. Oh, yeah. Talking about her. You're the one, sweetheart. Michelle, you're the one that does the elf pictures, videos, and the face in the... I think, though, you got me going on those. I would like a copy of those. Those are so cute. I don't know if we even saved those, but they're so cute. The elves and all that. Your creativity blows me away. I love it. You take care of yourself. You get yourself on the... an extended grape fast, I would. I mean, you're going to tear this up, but I'm going to look at your case because now you got me intrigued. Say you're working with Marcy here. Now I'm intrigued. Okay, and I'll report back to the group the next video I do. Oh, it's almost 5 o'clock and I've got so many, but you know what? I've got all week to come in here and help you guys. So what I'm going to do, oh, what's this? Vitamin mineral supplements for children. Dear Dr. Morse, my grandson is 2.5 years old. He has always refused fresh fruit from bananas and now refuses to eat them. Isn't that sad? God, that's rare too. His vegetable intake has also diminished as he is refusing to eat these a lot of the time. His diet is pretty beige at the moment and he has been unwell with a cough and runny nose for weeks. You know, I don't know. See, I don't know how you guys would take this, but I'm an old country boy, raised country, right? So I generally tell my children at 2.5 years old what they'll do. Generally speaking, I don't let them tell me what they're going to eat. But that's just me. But this young man needs to be, just like you said, Dad, or Grandpa, needs to be on fruits, berries, and melons. Develop the brain power of this little 2.5-year-old. I mean, fruits, remember, develop the brain and the comprehension levels. You want your baby to be the smart one in the class and take college courses in high school? upper circuit brain and nerve and a raw food diet, and I don't know if you'll be able to tolerate your kids. That's another problem. These kids get extremely smart, extremely awake, and extremely aware. Remember, these are powerful souls in new little bodies. Don't ever treat your babies like they're little babies, because they are not. By any stretch. And some can be very powerful beings you're bringing in here. And no joke to it. Some of your moms are going to be bringing in some extremely high aware beings here. It has to. We're doing all we can, and we're getting ready to turn it over. Now, at the moment he has been unwell. Oh yeah, of course he's eating crap. I am really worried as he is not eating a selection of fresh fruit and vegetables. See, and that's a sad thing. And you're the grandpa, so the mom and dad has to get with this. And that's part of the problem. They don't get it. And it's like, we've just got to teach and educate people so these kids have a chance. You know, so we don't have to sit there and watch our grandkids get, you know, acidic and full of mucus and going through the hell they're going to go through, or worse, guys. Little 2-year-old on milk and stuff, the parents don't know any better, gets a tumor, or their platelets and whites go down or whatever, and now what do you got? You've got the AMA down your ass and grabbing your children and putting them through chemotherapy and killing 90% of them or more. I don't care what they say. They're killing these kids right and left, and keep on doing it. And the child services keep letting them, because they're just as close-minded and ignorant as you can get as well. I don't know what's going to go on, but the people need to stand up and put a stop to this kind of crap, child service crap and stuff like that. You know, in this state, I mean, we see cases in this state that child services has no business interfering with, and then we have cases where they don't even help, but the children end up dead. So we have a very bad child services in Florida, in my opinion. And I love them. I mean, I love our state. But we got some serious problems, as most states. And this idea they got jurisdiction, the medical doctors are going to take them and to kill. You know, we have to, you guys are so important. Do you see how important you guys are? I can't even tell you, because without you and this planet changing, that's it. Take a look around. I'm really worried as he is, how to get him to eat more fruit. The mom and dad has to do that. And I just don't give them any other food. They're just what they're going to eat. But you have to make it fun and stuff like that, and play with these coloring books like this. I think this goes a long way. These type of books go a long way in helping to remold children's thinking. Unfortunately, you don't see commercials on TV where McDonald's are showing fruit breakfasts. So, you know, you get all of this drilled in, and then these children cartoons. I'm a little strict dad with my kids, so I never let them watch too many cartoons, because there's too much of this. And I was born working, so, you know, that's just what you get. I would make sure your son has, it's called Superfood number 3. Matter of fact, I've got a couple people on it, and they love it better than 1 and 2. And I rated for, it started out as the mother's milk by nature. Then I realized, oh, whoa, way too strong. So then I moved it a little bit and made it for toddlers and seniors, just because it's just so strong with brain power and everything else. But anybody can have it. But get your 2.5-year-old on that, because the testimonials coming back are pretty insane. So that's pretty good. You know, so a superfood, not vitamins and minerals. You want complete structures. You don't want isolates. That's man's thinking, and that'll only unbalance chemistry. You want complete structures from nature, superfoods of nature. So try the Superfoods 3. I think you're really going to like it, and the taste is pretty good too. A lot of fruits, a lot of berries, coconuts, stuff like that in there. Plus all the other good stuff and stuff for this. I got to sneak some stuff in there to empower the Homo sapien. Especially fruit, and if there is a natural organic vitamin mineral supplement he could take, that would help him build up the immune system. Oh, this is Diane. Oh, this is the grandmother. Ho ho ho! Grandma, huh? I no wonder you're worried. No, Grandma, I would try to get how to call you Grandma. I don't think you're that old, are you? No, I didn't think so. I just talk to the parents and say, you know, you got to get them on fruits and berries and melons. That's what they love. That matures their brain. That cleans their lymph system, keeps their kidneys healthy. I mean, there's no reason not to. If you want to give them some greens, give them green drinks. Parsley, dandelion greens, and spinach, whatever. But give them you could live on the superfood blend, so you wouldn't need to eat anything. And then you would have more nutrition than anybody ever gets. Even the animals in nature gets more nutrition than the superfood blend. How can you bitch about that? More nutrition, that's the problem. When you get too much nutrition, how does your body deal with it all? See, there's also a factor of getting too much. Because what are the 4 things that you must do before you can talk about nutrition? You must digest properly. You must absorb what you just digested. And then you must utilize what you just absorbed. And then you must eliminate the metabolitic waste from the metabolism or the processes involved in the activity of this and the activity of just walking and breathing. Any movement or activity creates chemistry and chemical residues. I'm creating lactic acid. Now, can I remove that lactic acid? Because if I can't and I'm doing this, oh, that's sore. Oh, that's getting sore, stiff. That's because I'm not removing the lactic acid I'm creating. But you have metabolism is full of that. All metabolizing of chemistry causes acids. That's your byproducts. And if you don't eliminate them, the symptom is called inflammation. From simple acute cold and flu-like symptoms to the gnarly, I'm going to rip you apart, RA, lupus, Lyme's, all the serious systemic acidosis times. And everything in between. Funny, huh? But work with your child on that, your grandchild on that, and teach them about it. Get these coloring books. They'll be available next week online here, I think. And teach them how fun fruits are and how pretty and how good they taste and how bad those nasty foods are that he's eating, how bad they are, causes all the mucus in you. Start relating in your babies their symptoms to what they're eating. So at least do that. So there's correlation. So at least your children know that they're creating the problem by eating this way. See, I didn't even have that benefit, and neither did most of you. We didn't know when we were eating this or that was creating this or that. We didn't know because we weren't told, and of course a lot of times they didn't even know. Hopefully. I love you guys, and you take care of yourselves. It'll all be okay. Just spend some time alone so you can get to understand who you are in reality, and enjoy the ride. You're only going to be here for so long, but don't get too caught up in it. Don't take this world too seriously. It's here today, gone tomorrow. You're not. You are always present.